Hey there, folks. Adam here going live. Just wanted to talk about this tornado warning storm that is over Lake Erie. So this is a marine tornado warning for Lake Erie, not for the Niagara region proper. And this supercell is tracking east through Lake Erie towards Buffalo at this point in time. It's a right mover, so it might just miss, but it's certainly Crystal Beach and Fort Erie. If this thing does shift to the north slightly, it could be a problem for them. But mainly torrential rain, hail, possibly some damaging winds for that area. But this is a right-moving supercell over Lake Erie right now, and it is a concern. So as you can see, this is the hook at the south side of the storm, and it is tracking towards Buffalo at this point in time. Crossing our fingers, of course, that everybody's safe in the path of it, and that it doesn't affect Ontario as much as it initially looked like it was heading straight towards Crystal Beach, but it's a right mover, so it's kind of moving due east at this point in time. So it's possible that it will miss, as far as the strong rotation is concerned, that it will miss land. Crossing our fingers, so that's the case. So just looking through the comments here. Hi everybody, how are we doing? Long time no see. October 15th. I didn't assume we'd be doing a tornado-based live stream, but that's how it goes. So what you're looking at right now is the raw radar data right there. It will be, again, it'll be tracking to the east. Let's go take a look at past and future radar. If you have not done so already, please download our free app. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com, instantweatherapp.com, not Insta, which some folks think that's kind of like Instagram, but instantweatherapp.com. So please head over there and download that. I'm going to pull this up right now onto the app itself, and we can take a look at the past and future radar. We heard there's some London lightning happening right now too, so there are going to be some thunderstorms throughout parts of southwestern Ontario, and I mean, we even had rain in Barrie just now as well too. So rain elsewhere, thunderstorms elsewhere, but the main risk for the tornado potential is actually supposed to be later this evening, but this storm kind of popped out of nowhere, and there was a marine tornado warning, so I figured let's go live and talk about it and talk about what's possible for this evening. So there is some late supercell risk over the Niagara region continuing, and there is some pretty potent storms down by Cleveland right now as well too. So we'll have to continue to track this and watch carefully as these storms move through the area. So let me head over to the app. Again, this is our free app, Instant Weather. This is the radar here that we're watching right now. So as you can see, there's besides this dangerous storm that we're watching just south of Crystal Beach and Port Colborne right now, besides that storm that made us decide to okay, I have to flip back right now. I have to flip back to raw radar because this is the latest update. That is a pretty nasty looking supercell. This is a flying V, so you get the big V splitting the main core, and then you have a hook right here, and it's got a little interesting little tail here, RFD. Yeah, so this is not a very nice looking storm right now. This is a classic supercell. This looks like an Oklahoma supercell moving east towards New York State. Again, the strongest part of it should continue south of land in Ontario, and it should just head into New York State. So Buffalo could be in the target with this right now, but that is a pretty nasty looking supercell right there. So I'm going to head back to the radar on our app so we can take a look at past and future radar. You can see that same storm. Let me just track it. Ooh, that was weird. You can see that same storm right here. Let's see if my mouse works. There we go. Good. So you can see it right there. That is the particular storm we're watching right now heading towards Buffalo. That is the supercell that has a tornado warning for Lake Erie. Now, when we send out tornado warnings through the app, this is something we need to improve. I didn't think we are going to be dealing with it in October, but when we send out tornado warnings that are for Lake Erie or for Lake Simcoe or for Lake St. Clair or for any particular lake, we should put in parentheses and brackets that it's over water, so folks know that it's not for land. It's an over water tornado warning. But still, I mean, if you're in Fort Erie right now, you probably want to know that there's a tornado warned supercell just south of you over Lake Erie. I'd want to know. I'm pretty sure you want to know too. So that's why we send them out. Yeah, and that's why if you are in those areas. It's quite possible you didn't get it through the government system, because I think they only send out the land tornado warnings, not the water tornado warnings, or marine tornado warnings, as it's called. So that's just to clarify that. If you did receive that and you're in the Niagara region, if you're close, or if you're basically in Eastern Lake Erie region, and you got a tornado warning through our app or through our text message alerts, then the reason you got it is because it's for Lake Erie. It's not for the land yet. Probably should stay that way, as this again is a right mover, so it should stay. Should stay south of land. I mean, the storm itself is definitely going to affect those areas, and we could be dealing with, again, damaging wind gusts, hail, torrential rain, possibly some isolated flooding and frequent lightning. But the part of the storm that really, really matters, aka the mesocyclone, the very strong rotation that could be producing a water spout at this point in time, may be producing a tornado as it moves onto land. That part of the storm that you really, really don't want. So far, it's over the water. So hopefully nobody's on the water at this point in time. But again, there's some pretty interesting looking storms actually down in west of Cleveland here. Let me just scroll up so you can see. And I will get my mouse back on there. And you can see these kind of have some classic supercell features as well too. So we have some developing storms, and those are the ones that will likely track to the northeast. And that's what we may see into the evening with again, the reason we sent out marginal tornado risk this evening. And we sent that out to all those who are in kind of the Niagara area, up to about, I think we went up to about Hamilton, which might be a little bit far north, but nevertheless, we wanted to highlight the area. So let me hit play on that as well too. The same exact area that we sent out the tornado risk possible this evening to is the same area that I notified that we're going live. So in this particular case, I didn't notify, you can see some storms moving through, maybe 8, 9 o'clock towards Niagara. So we'll see how that goes. This entire year, every time storms are supposed to arrive a few hours later, they always arrived a little bit early. So we'll have to watch that just to make sure. If those storms do arrive a bit early, then it could be more interesting. But again, the overall risk, there's a marginal tornado risk stateside in this south of the international border. We've been watching closely as the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma has been talking about a 2 to 5%, so a marginal to slight tornado risk in those areas, but that goes right up to the border. So we've been watching the models, we've been carefully analyzing the environment, and it looks like there is potential for the Niagara region. Will it happen? Hard to say for sure. Cross your fingers, it's not going to happen. We never want to see that, but you never know. Obviously, we're dealing with a supercell right now, and these supercells weren't supposed to really truly show up until later, and they're already happening. So, and there was a tornado warning in the U.S. just a little bit earlier, about 110 kilometers south of the Lake Erie shoreline. So that was interesting as well too. So anyways, that prompted us to go live and to talk about these storms and to say hi to everybody. Thank you for all your comments. And let me just try to read some of them here. This is where everybody says, your microphone's been muted this whole time. And I go, whoops. No, I think you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. How does it sound? Is it clear? Clear is good. Oh, so, that's good. Oh, that's great. So the marine tornado warning did actually go out through the kind of Amber Alert, alert ready phone stuff. So Holsten P says, I also got a government alert. I'm in Fort Erie, similar to an Amber Alert. So perfect. Good. I'm glad that did go out. So that's great. That's good to hear. So Rob says, Leamington, any threats here? It's hard to say. I'm thinking probably not. But man, that supercell right now looks so potent. But it should head towards areas just south of Buffalo. Crystal Beach is going to be getting some rain right now. Not long until Fort Erie should already be getting some rain from it. But yeah, I don't think Leamington is in the risk tonight for, and I mean, you're going to get some rain, maybe some lightning, but I don't think you're going to get, I don't think this particular supercell risk is for Leamington. I think Leamington's going to get left out of this one, which is never the case. Leamington's always included for some reason. Probably just because you're so far south and these risks usually come up from the US. So yeah, so there is some storms over that went or that are going through London, through Dutton, Wallistown. You can get a little bit deeper into that as well too to see exactly what these storms are doing and where they're going. Just trying to see if there's any. There could be a rotation on some of these storms, so I just want to make sure. That might just be noise. That Dutton storm right there. But yeah, that storm heading towards Buffalo looks pretty nasty right now. Very organized mesocyclone, big old hook on it. That's not a very nice storm. So if you are in, if you do for some reason follow us and you are in New York State and you're in the kind of Buffalo area, or even just slightly south of that, you're going to want to obviously take shelter in the path of that storm. I'm sure it's not going to be long until the National Weather Service puts up alerts on that particular one. So, yes, so that's a dangerous supercell for sure. Alexa says, what can we expect tomorrow? What can we expect tomorrow? I don't know. For where? Please clarify that. It really does help. For tomorrow, I don't think we're expecting any severe risk for tomorrow. But let me know where you're located and I'll try my best to answer that forecast question. Let's see here. Matthew says, why is there a tornado risk? It's cold out. Depends on where you are, Matthew. It's obviously warmer the further south you go. And it's more about, we get these edge cases, these early season and late season events where there's not that much heat, there's not that much energy, but you get the right system moving through with the right amount of rotation, and you can have these spin ups. So it's kind of a low cape, high shear type of year, or type of part of the season. So that just seems to be happening usually at the end and start of the season. Elizabeth says, I'm nowhere near the risk zone, but still watching just because I enjoy stream. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I really appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. What's the weather for London tomorrow, says Pat. I can take a look into that. Give me a second here. Casey is saying it was 23 degrees today in Fort Erie, 25 to 26 the last 2 days. So there is heat. I mean, we had a tornado in October one time where it was 10 Celsius. So 23 degrees, you can have a tornado. It's more about the difference in temperature between the surface and further up into the atmosphere, right? If it's, heat rises. So if it's a lot colder up top, as long as there's a big difference in the temperature, then you can have lift. So obviously you need lift, but you also need rotation. Rita says, what is happening for Niagara Falls? Niagara Falls is fine at this point in time, but there is a supercell risk into the evening hours. So we're going to have to be watching closely, whether I'm live streaming or not. We're going to be watching closely, and we'll definitely be sending out any notifications of any sort of risk. Again, if you don't have our free app, please go download it. It's free, which is $0.00. And you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. And then if I see anything on radar that's rotating, again, whether we're live streaming or not, I can send that out to you. You'll get notified immediately and you'll know what's up. So pretty please do that. And thank you to all those who have downloaded the app. And thank you to all those who have subscribed to upgrade the radar to 5 hours and to remove ads from the app. Thank you so much. You're the reason that we're able to offer the app for free to everybody else. So I really sincerely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Laura says, is there a type of alert beyond warning? It goes watch, then warning, right? Yeah. So warning is the top level. In the US, they have a few different types, actually. They'll have kind of a standard, and for example, for a tornado warning in the US, they have a standard tornado warning that's like radar indicated, and then they have a tornado warning or a tornado warning where they kind of upgrade the level of it where it's been reported on the ground, and then they have the extreme level, which is a PDS tornado warning, particular dangerous situation tornado warning, where it's about to impact a large population, very, very strong rotation, and they call a tornado emergency is actually what they upgrade that. So tornado emergency would be the level above tornado warning in the US. In Canada, we just have tornado warnings, but we have, obviously, they put in the details, stuff like if they say dangerous tornado moving towards a big population, those will be in the actual details of the warning. So it's really important to read those. Something really important to read in the details too is locations impacted include. So that's something new Environment Canada has added to their tornado warnings. And it's really cool because their tornado warnings are way too big. They're these old, giant county-based polygons. They're not these really, really narrow tornado warnings like in the US. But what they've done is they've narrowed down the list of locations that are impacted. So definitely go into the details, look up locations impacted include, and then you'll see that the basically sketched out area of exactly where the dangerous storm is moving to. So that's really, really important to check out. Hopefully that helps answer that question. Yeah, let's see here. Just trying to read. Angie says nothing is helping on this migraine. There's nothing I can do about that. No, unfortunately. Amazing Person 3409, our friend on YouTube, says a few days ago there was a PDS tornado warning. Yeah, particular dangerous situation tornado warning is a bad thing. Karen says St. Thomas. There could be some storm activity in St. Thomas. I mean, unless there already is. So those storms are pretty close from the last time I took a look. Excuse me. Oh my goodness, the hook on that supercell, we're going to have to go take a look at that again. And somebody did ask. Somebody reported a water spout west of Cleveland on these storms that are moving northeast right now. So that could be interesting. We'll have to be watching that very carefully. St. Thomas, there's a storm right on your doorstep. Looks like some gusty winds, torrential rain, lightning. And that's the same kind of complex that went through London. It will be tracking to the northeast. And we'll have to just keep watching that one closely as it moves into the favorable environment, marginally favorable environment. So it's not this extreme environment we're dealing with here, but the marginally favorable environment is going to be moving to areas, basically Port Rowan to, or maybe just east of St. Thomas over towards from probably south of Hamilton, but Hamilton might see an interesting storm tonight over to Niagara Falls and the Niagara region. So the main area of risk is basically areas southern Niagara, right on Lake Erie. That is the focus at this point in time. Yes. Oh, everybody wants to see where the hook is. Okay, 1 second here. Let me just go back to the raw data. Give me just 1 second. Make sure I have the latest frame loaded. Let's go take a look at that hook. Take a look at the hook. Here is this beast of a storm, and let me just zoom in so you can see for those who are in Port Colborne. You can see it up here. You are not in the risk. There is a storm actually just west of you. I should probably keep an eye on, but I don't think it's doing anything fancy. No, it doesn't look very interesting at all. But that particular storm, so this is the shoreline right here. Excuse me, as you can see, Crystal Beach, Point Abino, is that how it's pronounced? Point Abino or Abino? Crystal Beach, Point Abino, and then Fort Erie is over here. And this supercell continues. It was tracking to the northeast, and then it kind of just became a classic right mover, and it is tracking to the east. It will hit south of Buffalo in New York State, but Crystal Beach might get some small hail. Fort Erie might get some torrential rain as well too, and some gusty winds and hail. But this particular supercell, this particular hook echo, it doesn't seem to be tracking towards Ontario. It seems like it's just going to miss to the south, which is great news. Which is fantastic. Side note, Cheryl Powell sent a very generous super chat on YouTube, which is a donation on YouTube, and says, "You guys are amazing, always looking out for everyone and keeping us safe. Thank you." Thank you so much, Sherry. I really, really appreciate it. I think I said Cheryl, but sorry, Sherry Powell. Thank you so much. I don't know where your comment went. It flew away, but for some reason I can still, I can see it. There we go. There it is. Thank you so much, Sherry. I really appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Queen Bee says, "What city should worry?" None. I would say unless you're south of Buffalo in New York State, at this point in time, there is zero worrying to do. All we're doing is staying prepared. We're staying aware of what the situation is. We're understanding that later on this evening, there could be more supercells that move into the Niagara region. So they're going to be potentially a problem. Let's cross our fingers that they end up just like this one did and they stay away from Ontario. Again, our thoughts are with those in New York State and south of Buffalo who are going to be affected by the supercell. And let's cross our fingers that it fizzles over the water and it's just a storm for them over there, not a violent tornado. That would be good. That would be the best. So yeah, nobody should worry. I don't think there's a point of worrying at this point in time. I think it's just a matter of paying attention. So I find that severe weather is much, much less intimidating. It's much less scary when you're aware of what's going on. If you're like, there's a tornado risk in Niagara, I'm in that area, I'm just gonna have to pay attention to what's going on. I'll make sure I have my phone charged, make sure, that I have a way, or multiple ways preferably, to get alerts, and then, that's it. That is it. That's all you can do. But it's much better than, oh, there's a tornado tearing off my roof. I didn't even know there's going to be tornadoes today. That's, that's much scarier. Annie says, I was born and raised in Ridgeway, Crystal Beach. Point Abino is pronounced Abino with the stress on the A and O. Abino. Point Abino. Did I get it right? Let me know. Let me Abino. Deborah says hail. It's possible. There might be some hail. As you can see here in the kind of purple pink, that would be hail inside that storm. So Crystal Beach might see some hail, and it's possible Fort Erie might see some hail. But the rest, at this point in time, probably all right. Karen says Fort Erie. You might see the north end. You might see the forward flank of that supercell, but that's not the problem. The problem is the hook echo on the south side of the storm that is currently over Lake Erie, and we don't believe that Fort Erie is going to be affected by that particular storm as far as the hook echo and the rotation and possible tornado risk. And that's just for this particular storm. There are more storms coming later. We're going to have to watch and see, but we'll see. I got it, says Darlene. Abino. Point Abino. Karen says, thank you. You're very welcome. Look, it's B says big lightning in Fort Erie. I'm sure there's definitely a lightning risk with that. It's a supercell. This is the strongest type of isolated storm. So it's a pretty aggressive storm. So it's definitely going to be a lot of lightning, torrential rain, maybe some isolated flooding with that one, especially if it continues to move slow like it has been. Tommy says, Adam, what about Collingwood? Collingwood's fine. You might get some rain, maybe some thunder. But Collingwood's good. I don't see an issue with Collingwood at this point in time. The main risk, the main environment is very isolated to the Niagara region. Maybe some areas a little bit to the west, somewhere between St. Thomas and Fort Erie. Somewhere in there is the main area of concern. I don't even think London has a chance for severe weather. All they had was some rain and some lightning earlier. And again, we don't consider lightning to be severe weather. I mean, of course, lightning severe weather, but it doesn't classify, like some people say, oh, there's so much lightning, but there's no severe thunderstorm warning. What gives? And it's like, if there was a severe thunderstorm warning on every single lightning storm, then every single time a severe thunderstorm warning got, it would just get, if you put a severe thunderstorm warning on every single, I want to do the math at some point in time. I think the amount of severe thunderstorm warnings would 10x or 100x probably, maybe even more, a few orders of magnitude more. And if you put out that many severe thunderstorm warnings on every single lightning storm, no one's going to pay attention ever again to severe thunderstorm warnings. They're going, it's just lightning. So severe thunderstorm warning only gets issued if we're dealing with flooding, if we're dealing with damaging wind gusts that actually, have the potential to take trees down. Some people say, oh, it's so windy and there's lightning. It's severe. I'm like, are trees falling? No. Is there hail big enough to dent your car and take out crops? No. Is there flooding? There's some ponding. And it's like, no. So it has to hit those thresholds to be considered severe. Now, it doesn't mean every single severe thunderstorm warned storm is going to hit those things. It just means that it has the potential to. So hopefully that clarifies that. Long story short, can't put severe thunderstorm warning on every single lightning storm. That would be bad. Let me see here. Tara says, are storms going to be severe in St. Catharines? Maybe they'll get that far north. The environment goes up to about Hamilton. Like as we watch the environment increase in strength a little bit later into the evening, as we see some of the supercell potential, that kind of goes up to about Hamilton. So St. Catharines would definitely be included in that. Will it get that far? Will it actually be severe? It's a good question. It's more of a marginal tornado risk with a little bit of hail and maybe some damaging winds. But the overall severe risk is marginal. It's October 15th. So, it's not like we're going to high risk on October 15th. It's probably not going to happen unless you live in like Oklahoma or something. But for our area, these late season risks are always questionable. They're always marginal. But this is a pretty nasty looking supercell. So obviously, even in a marginal situation, you can still have supercells. Jen says, what EF classification does this type of supercell create typically? That's a good question. It's impossible to say. It all depends on damage. EF is a damage scale. Only damage. So if this could be the strongest, most violent potential tornado over the water, but if it doesn't hit anything, it'll be rated an EF 0. If it goes through a grassy field and it has nothing to hit, it could be the strongest tornado that's ever occurred, but because it went through a grassy field, it gets rated EF 0. So it's just a damage scale. We can't say a supercell like this is going to create, I've seen supercells like this have tornadoes that are rated EF 0, and I've seen supercells like this have tornadoes that are rated EF 5. And that's the entire scale. So it's basically impossible to say that classic supercells like this, classic supercells are usually the ones where you have the higher rating. You don't usually have an EF4 and EF5 unless it's a really, truly classic supercell with this type of shape. But just because it's got this shape does not mean it has the potential to create an EF5. The environment is just really not there for it. If this thing turned into that, I would be absolutely blown away shocked. It probably wouldn't happen. So this time of year, EF0, EF1, usually the case. Maybe EF2. To see something in October go EF3 would be absolutely crazy. Probably never see that. But who knows? If it gets warmer and warmer, we'll see what happens. K10 says, check up on Fort Erie. I'll check up on my friends in Fort Erie. You know what? I'm going to go back to past and future radar so we can cover the weather for not just where the supercell is, but for everybody, or at least for southwestern Ontario where we do have this risk. Thank you, K10, for that heads up. Let me just flip back to the app and we can see the past and future radar. Someone was asking about Prince Edward County. There might be some potential there for severe, but probably not. I don't think the environment really stretches that way. So as you see, there's going to be storms, all the way up to Barrie. There's going to be storms across a good swath of the area. But the only area that has really, truly a marginal, at best, a low risk for tornado development and maybe some other severe weather is going to be kind of the Niagara region. Niagara, maybe up to Hamilton, down towards St. Thomas, that little cubby. I would say that would be the case. Jessica says, when do you predict Ontario will start seeing some snow this year? That's my answer to that. That which we shall not talk about. Let's see here. November, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? October? Who knows? They've already had snow in Saskatchewan. So they had a little bit. We can't talk about that right now. We are the last of the season tornado live stream. So we can't talk about the S word here. That's right. Tommy says, good, Adam. Thanks. You're welcome, Tommy. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. London James says, is this storm going to hit Ottawa, Ontario? No. Cat says, supercell heading towards Buffalo. Yeah, it is supercell heading towards Buffalo. Early south of Buffalo, southern Buffalo. It's moving right in right now. We'll see what happens. The National Weather Service still has not issued a tornado warning on this one, but it's just about reaching land. So I have a feeling that they might. Michelle says, hey now, some of us love the snow. Yeah, I like snow, actually. I don't mind winter at all. Jerry says October 30th. That's very specific. Jerry thinks snow will come October 30th. Maybe we should do like that'd be cool. We should do like a total guess the date and win something or other. I don't know. That'd be pretty cool. Mark says, Adam, what's going on with our weather? Maybe you can do a special live event in the future and explain our new weather patterns. Yeah. I usually stick to nowcasting in severe weather. That's my thing. I try to, there's a lot of folks out there that are brilliant climatologists, and they really dive deep into that, and they check out the analogs of previous years, and they really try to, is it an El Nino or a La Nina? And they go so deep into that, and they're checking out their volcanic activity, and there's some people are so deep into that, and we have several members of our team that are super deep into that as well too. Me personally, my passion remains with nowcasting, tracking severe weather in real time, forecasting severe weather, a few days out, not like super long out, because obviously the accuracy of that is garbage. But yeah, within a day or two or three, tracking severe weather, jumping on the live stream, helping folks stay safe in the path of it, notifying those who are in the path of it as well too. That's where my passion is, so I usually stick to that. But it would be cool to get some of our other members of the team who are deep into the climatology to get into that and have a debate about it and all that kind of stuff. So it could be interesting for sure. I appreciate the ask. But for me personally, I would just sit there and eat popcorn and just listen to what they say. It's not my thing. Jessica says, no possible tornado risks for Niagara area tonight. Just antsy for snow to come. Yes. If you love snow, I can appreciate it. But again, that's also, for me to say like what day it's going to snow. I would just join in on the guessing game, and then I would just cross my fingers and see if I ended up getting it right. But as far as me, the crystal ball is broken. So Karen says, tornado warning for Crystal Beach. To clarify, and you probably either got it through the government system or you have it through our app. It's a tornado warning for the water. So this is a marine over water. We want to put that in parentheses eventually. This is an over water tornado warning. It is not for land. It's just letting you know that there's a tornado warned storm just to your south. You're getting hail and lots of lightning and torrential rain from it, but the actual part of the storm that could produce a tornado is south of land, and it's moving towards south of Buffalo. So there is zero risk for a tornado in Crystal Beach or Fort Erie right now. Both of those areas are fine. I'm going to double check on that storm again. For some reason, it magically took a north turn. No, you're fine. So Fort Erie is now getting that. Crystal Beach is actually you might get another round of rain here. Now, to be fair, we're just talking about this particular storm. As you can see on future radar above my head, there is more storms that are going to move into the Niagara region, and the environment is actually going to get a little bit stronger. So even though it already produced this beast of a storm that's about to move into areas that are south of Buffalo, and our thoughts are with all those who are south of Buffalo who are going to be affected by that storm because it looks intense. There is, again, still potential for more storms later on this evening, so we'll have to watch. Terrell says, St. Thomas 2, poor dog is shaking. Yeah, there's going to be lots of lightning for sure, and I'm sure that's stressing your puppy out there, so sorry to hear that. Isn't there like thunder shirts or thunder blankets or something like that? Someone was mentioning that earlier, that you can put those on them and they're a little less stressed out. Excuse me. Amy says, I thought I saw a tornado southeast of Ingersoll. Did you see some low-hanging clouds, maybe? I would be shocked if you saw a tornado south of Ingersoll. Although, it's funny you say that, because there actually is a little bit of rotation south of Woodstock, which is east of Ingersoll. He said southeast of Ingersoll. It's actually northeast of Ingersoll. So probably nothing. It doesn't look very supportive, and it doesn't look very strong. But that is interesting. Hold on. We have a gentleman on our team from someone. Ashley says, update Kitchener, please. I think Kitchener's fine right now. Hold on a second. Thunder shirts, says Teresa. Thank you so much. I'm going to see what Harry's up to because there's a bit of minor rotation near Woodstock. Let's see what Harry says. I don't think there's that much of an environment over there. It's funny she said that, and then I look, and then there's some minor rotation right there. She said southeast. Maybe she meant southwest of Ingersoll. It actually is wrapping up a bit, but it's so weak. I don't know. That's a tricky one. Tricky. Okay, so what the heck was I doing? Something? Charlene says, any rotation near Tillsonburg, south of Ingersoll, west of Woodstock? It looks like there is some southwest of Woodstock. There is a little bit of minor rotation. I kind of maybe want to post about it. I think I'm going to post about it. There's just a tiny little bit of rotation there. It's slightly concerning. I'm gonna send out a minor rotation update for those in that area, because I don't like the look of it. It's near Beachville and Swayburg. I'm not a big fan of that storm. So 1 second here. Just very minor rotation. It's very interesting. This is northeast of Ingersoll. Just gonna put a little tiny. Let me just make sure it's the way it's going. Yeah, I'm going to put a little tiny minor rotation polygon over that storm. I kind of don't like the look of it. Just going to send it a little update to the folks in that area. And minor rotation detected on the storm near Beachville and Woodstock. I'm going to send that out right now just because I don't like the look of it. 5:24 p.m. That looks good. Clickety. Okay, I'm going to send that out right now. That's just something about that storm. Interesting. Okay, so thank you for the reports. Really appreciate that. Kat says, do you do these live streams often? I can't even count how many times we did it this season. I think this season's the most I've ever live streamed. And I probably did it, I don't know, 30 times. I probably live streamed 30 times this season. And I wouldn't mind doing some winter ones. I did one winter one last year. One winter storm. And everyone's like, you should do more winter storms. I was like, oh, okay. Wait. So, yeah. Lauren says, got it. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind doing more. Anybody on YouTube, Snakes and Doggies seems to be posting spam? Let me know. Sweeberg, someone said. Oh, I messed that up. Sweeberg. Did I say Swayberg? Sway. That's Swea. I got that. I put the A in. Sweeberg. What is Snakes and Doggies talking about? Please confirm if Snakes and Doggies is spamming. Amazing Person says, would be fun to see some winter ones, especially with large snowstorms and freezing rain events. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think I'd like to do that. Rhonda says, love this. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. Thank you kindly. Cindy says, missed you. Missed you too, Cindy. Thank you kindly. Appreciate it. Cute puppies. Miranda says, I think the video froze. Did it freeze? Working for me. Coolio on YouTube sent in a very generous super chat and said, so glad to have you back for one last live stream this year. I missed Tornado Tuesday. Aw, thank you kindly. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you to all those who are sending in stars through our Instant Weather Ontario Facebook page. I really appreciate that. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Thank you. On Twitch, how likely will Woodstock have a tornado? It's unlikely. It looks pretty weak. Chances are it's not going to do anything, but I did see some minor rotation there, so I felt it was worth mentioning. But chances of it actually producing a tornado are low, quite low. Yeah. Angry Land Barge is saying that looks like spam. Everybody says it looks like spam. Okay, so bye, snakes and doggies. Thank you for your time. Goodbye. The banhammer has been placed. Oh, okay, where was I? Oh, thank you so much, Coolio. Appreciate that. And let's see here. I'm trying to read some of your comments. Brandon says, do you use Switcher Studio for your live streams? I don't. I use OBS. OBS and StreamYard is what I use. Combination's cool. StreamYard is cool because you can, with the pro version, go like live to like 8 different places, which is sweet. It's nice to be able to do that with the click of a button. Jason says, hey, Adam, more information on the rotation for East Zora Tavistock. Checking. I am checking. Pretty strong storm heading towards the Port Stanley area, or going through Port Stanley right now, and Union. That, it looks like a pretty organized storm. Interesting. That rotation near Woodstock is getting weaker. And Sweeberg, that's right, that's right. That Port Stanley looks interesting, though. Our thoughts are with all those who are in areas south of Buffalo as rotation goes right onto shore. The National Weather Service has still not issued a tornado warning on that storm. That's interesting. If that's up to them, maybe they feel that it's going to weaken. That would be optimal if it did weaken. I jumped to live stream so quickly that I forgot to grab a drink or anything. So at some point in time, I'm going to have to do that. Sorry, Tavistock. Where is Tavistock? Let me track that down here. I recognize the area. Zora and Tavistock. 1 second here. Oh, was that maybe the rotation I posted about earlier? Let me go take a look, because a few of them I think I might have left up on the app. So let me just make sure about those old ones, and I'll get rid of them here. The Port Burwell one. Yeah, that one is old. I'm going to take that off the app. So if you refresh the app, that'll be gone. I'm going to take minor rotation detected off of Fort Erie, sorry. And let's see here. Okay, so just looking at a few different ones. So I think that's about it. So I still want to check out where's Tavistock, but I think that might have been the one you were talking about there, the Port Burwell one. Maybe not. All right, I'm going to go look up. I'm literally going to type in Tavistock here. 1 sec. Tavistock. No, that took me to an American Tavistock. 1 sec here. Tavistock, Ontario. Okay, let me double check for you. Yeah, there's no if there was any rotation there, it was extremely weak. So, oh, tornado warning has ended for Lake Erie. Good news. That's good news. Yeah, Jason. Nothing. I'm not seeing anything there of interest. Angry Landbarge says, partial power flicker in St. Thomas knocked off a light for a moment, but did not shut off my trusty iMac. Cool. Brooks says, how's it looking? Well, there's still an environment in place for Woodstock area, says Jason. Yeah, I think it's weakening. Brooks says, how's it looking? There's still an environment in place in Niagara where we could still see isolated tornado potential with the storms into the evening hours. It's very marginal risk. It's a low risk. It's a questionable risk. But clearly, Tony says Adam Tavistock is near Stratford. I thought I recognized it. I'm pretty sure I've looked into it before, but yeah. So Tammy says, how does Eastern Ontario look later tonight? There's no severe risk for Eastern Ontario, but obviously you're going to see some rain and some storms. But we're not seeing any severe risk for that area. Kim says, how about Exeter? It's too far northwest for this particular risk. The only area we're really seeing the potential for a risk is Niagara Falls region, maybe up to Hamilton, maybe down to about St. Thomas. That corridor is the only area, as you can see, these storms in the future that end up moving into that corridor. I mean, there's going to be storms further to the north, all the way up to Barrie and Orillia, through Toronto and the GTA, and then they're going to move into Eastern Ontario. But those should all just be rain, maybe some lightning, maybe some small hail, but gusty winds, that type of thing. But probably not reaching the severe threshold area, I would say. Natasha says, my boyfriend said that it's been raining like crazy all day in Chatham. It just started raining here with Saga Beach, so hopefully we're not getting that much rain. Yeah, in the south there could be some areas that have quite a bit of rain as well too. So that's been posted about. We mentioned that through the app, and there's been, I think, special weather statement in place as well too for the excessive rainfall as well. Lawrence. Niagara Falls has some potential for severe weather this evening. We'll have to watch closely. Zane says, I think I can see rotation north of Woodstock. Yeah, we had a few reports of it, and then I went and looked into it, and I was like, hold on a tick. Something's going on there. There's actually a bit of rotation right now east of Port Stanley. That kind of came out of nowhere. It looked decent on the last frame, and now there actually is a little bit of rotation down there. I might go ahead and post another minor rotation on that. Then I'm probably going to go grab a drink. I'm going to lose half the live stream because everybody's going to say, where's Adam? And they're going to leave. It happens every time. And then hopefully they come back at some point in time. Every time I'm like, I'll be right back. I leave and I come back and like half of everybody's gone. It happens. Let's see here. Thank you, Zane, for that update. The radar doesn't look that amazing for that area now. I'm probably going to. Oh, excuse me. Probably going to. There goes me yawning. The joys of live streaming. I'm probably going to remove that minor rotation. Tony says Port Stanley's 5 minutes from me. Yeah, there is some minor rotation there. I should post about it. It definitely popped up out of nowhere. I don't think it's noise. Let me see what Tilt 2 is doing. It's kind of a hook in Port Stanley too. Let me see. I wonder if it's going to stay for one frame. Can be a merge. I don't know. It's worth mentioning. Looks even better than the Woodstock one. So I'm going to post about that. Give me just 1 second here. Just a moment. I'm going to post about that. Where did that go? The Port Stanley storm. Okay, so just east of Port Stanley and I'm going to notify Port Stanley because they're so close, and just a little bit to the northeast. And here, let's see. Actually, I'm going to go all the way down to Port Bruce, probably. Just going to do a minor rotation for them. Minor rotation detected on this storm just east of Port, or I'll say storm near Port Stanley, moving east northeast. And what time is it? 5:36 p.m. Yada yada yada. Click click click, and one more clickety click and send. There we go. I love how easy we've made that. Okay, so I sent that out. Tracy said, just got your notice for Woodstock. Yeah. Amazing person says, decent rotation being shown from Exeter, radar velocity on that storm. South of Long Point, something to watch as it tracks east, northeast towards Niagara region. I will check. South of Long Point, you say? Oh, yeah. Good one. Amazing person is amazing, by the way. It's awesome. Yeah, just rained for Innisfil. Dans. Kristen says, yay, you're live. Yay. I wasn't expecting to do a tornadic live stream on October 15th, but, you know, crazier things happen. I always go back to that story of we had an EF1 tornado, and it was 0 Celsius. And it was, I believe, was it Smith Falls or Spencerville? Somewhere over there. Somewhere in Eastern Ontario, there was a, I think it might have been Spencerville. Anyways, long story short, there was an EF1 tornado at 0 Celsius. And it was November 28th, 2013. So when it's like 23 Celsius out and someone's like, it's too cold for tornadoes. Well, are you sure about that? Tara says, Fort Erie having a tornado? No. So that storm moved east, went into the Buffalo area, just other than the rain and the lightning and maybe a little bit of hail and some wind. It missed, the strongest part of the storm missed Fort Erie. But that region this evening continues to have an environment that is supportive of some supercell development. So there's a marginal tornado risk for Fort Erie this evening, as these storms continue to track up. Right now, there actually is a little supercell near Long Point that my friend Amazing Person 3409 on YouTube pointed out. We're going to have to add to the team at some point in time because they're just so very helpful. There's a couple of storms worth watching that are heading towards that Fort Erie area. So we'll have to see what does happen with that. But I definitely need something to drink because I'm very thirsty. And again, I'm going to go get something to drink. I'm going to come back, and the number I see there is going to be minus 12 people. Somehow it's going to be in minus. I don't mean that only 12 people have left. I mean that there's no one left, and somehow there's 12 people that aren't even watching and it's recognizing them. It'll be under 0. Andrea says, just tuning in, any tornadoes in Windsor? Nah, I think Windsor's fine. The only area that is a risk from what we can see is kind of the Niagara region, maybe over to about St. Thomas. There is some rotation near Port Stanley right now, heading east-northeast. So we're watching that. There is some rotation near Long Point that is going to be heading towards Fort Erie and Crystal Beach and that area, Port Colborne, potentially. So we're going to have to be watching that. Crystal says, you should see all the flooding out front of my house. It is insane. Oh my goodness, Crystal. Crystal, if it's safe to do so, please take a photo and put it on our Ontario Storm Reports page. So I'm going to actually put this in the comments right now. Please, if you're on Facebook, please post reports at facebook.com/groups/Ontario Stormwatch. But that is the Ontario Storm Reports group that we created. So I'm going to hit that. Send. 1 second here. We're actually live on that page right now. So I'll put it all destinations. There we go. Okay. Ange says, water is important, Adam. I agree. Oh, you mean to drink? Yes, I thought you meant the flooding. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course, water is important. Oh, you mean for me to drink? I know, I'm super thirsty. I need to go drink some water. And yeah, let's see here. Summer says, Woodstock update rotation still close. Yeah, it looked like it was weakening. Let me take a look. Yeah, it's weakening. It's heading towards Oxford Center, and it doesn't look very impressive. Although the rotation heading, that's northeast of Port Stanley, heading towards Sparta, is actually getting organized. If you're in Sparta, you're going to want to probably be taking shelter with that storm. We posted minor rotation. I might update that because it looks not very friendly. Let me go pull it up on raw data here so we can see. So let me do that right now. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. If you are in Sparta, if you are in Dexter, Lawton's Corners, Jaffa, the rotation is actually increasing just east of Port Stanley. I'm going to flip over to velocity so we can see what the velocity is doing for that. Yeah, look at this rotation right here. Rotation couplet developing. It's definitely a rotation heading towards Sparta, Jaffa. Look at that. It's a pretty nasty line of storms. There's also rotation on this storm that is below me. 1 second here. There we go. That amazing person 3409 on YouTube pointed out that long point. There's actually rotation on this storm, and that will be heading towards kind of Port Colborne and Fort Erie areas. So we're going to be watching that too. But I am seeing rotation on this particular storm right here, heading into Sparta and Jaffa, Dunboyne, Candyville. Just east of Port Stanley. That is a problem. It is rotating. It's pretty evident that that storm is rotating. 1 second here. Yeah, a little bit supported on tilt 2, not much. Low level rotation on that storm. I would still say it classifies as minor. But if you're in Sparta, I would definitely be considering getting to a safer place, because that looks not very happy. What's happening here? Yeah, the Port Stanley stuff. I think I'm gonna post orange. 1 second here. Let's see here. Oh, I just got corrected. It was November 23rd. Are you sure it's November 23rd? Yeah, November 23rd, 2013. It was an EF1 in Charleville. Dr. Dave is watching. Hi, Dr. Dave. How we doing? He says, in Charleville, EF1 tornado, the temps were sub-0 Celsius, so potentially below freezing. And there was an EF1 tornado that cut a silo in half. Yeah, it was pretty impressive. And that was November 23rd, 2013. Thank you, Dr. Dave, for clarifying that. Appreciate it. Dr. Dave from the Northern Tornadoes Project knows his stuff. Has been a big help to us over the years, clarifying. I don't know how many times I've ran to him with a radar image and said, do you think this is rotation? Yeah, Port Stanley. Dr. Dave, if you're watching, is that noise? Because the next radar update got even worse. Sparta, but it could just be noise. I don't know. It's been 3 frames of it. It's been 3 frames. We'll see. What's tilt 2 doing? It's still kind of there. I don't like the look of that. Is there any debris signature in Sparta? No, I'm not seeing anything for debris. So that's a good sign. I just left it as minor rotation, but yeah, if you're in Sparta, interesting. Yeah, so let me see if we get the latest update here. Yeah, so this is the latest update. Looks kind of noisy. Queen Bee says, who needs to get to shelter? There's some rotation in Sparta, but it's interesting because the reflectivity doesn't really look that amazing. Someone asked about Lake Simcoe later. It's just going to be storms. I don't think there's going to be any severe risk. Probably just some lightning, maybe some heavy rain. I don't think much past that. But let's take a look at reflectivity here. See, this is what I'm talking about with reflectivity. It's very piecey. There's not like a perfect classic hook here, although I don't know. It's probably the most interesting storm at this point in time is this Sparta cell right here. And then again, there's this cell right here near Long Point that will be heading eventually up towards Port Colborne, Fort Erie area. Possibly it may take a right turn towards Buffalo again. We'll see. But this particular storm right now, east of Port Stanley, seeing some rotation on it, and we're going to have to be watching that closely. It could possibly be nothing. We'll see. Arm Anchor says, should we be headed downstairs? Who I believe is probably in that Sparta area. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit questionable. Could just be a convergence thing. Let's see here. Dr. Sill says, looks like a bona fide couplet. Just not sure why. He's in rotation. We posted mine in rotation. It looks like a bona fide couplet. But is it a bona fide couplet? He says bona fide. If he says bona fide, that's bona fide. So, yeah, there's rotation in that area. Let's see here. Give me just a second. Give me just a moment. Yeah, if you're in Sparta, I mean, there is rotation there. If you're actually there. What's his name again? Sorry. Arm Anchor. So, or Armacord. Armacord, where are you located exactly? Are you in Sparta? I just like saying Sparta. But are you in Sparta? I hope that doesn't actually produce something. That would be preferable if it did not. But we've had 3 frames. We posted minor rotation. We've had 3 frames of rotation here. And Dr. Still says it looks like a bona fide couplet. So, That's not good. East of Sparta. Yeah, if you're east of Sparta, I mean, I would probably be preparing to take shelter with that storm. I wouldn't, Steve says rotation Jamestown line Sparta. So, oh, he said east of Sparta, and now he says west of Sparta. And Zeta says this is Sparta. Of course, that was coming out next. Steve says rotation Jamestown line Sparta. So we have confirmed rotation on the ground with that storm. Not on the ground. I'm saying a report from the ground. So it's called ground truth, aka somebody's actually looking at that storm and it's rotating. So that's not good. Tina says no TV, no internet. Now what? How are you on our live stream if you have no internet? Side note, that's a good thing to talk about. Facebook user says, what's a bona fide couplet? He's just saying it is a couplet. Couplet means rotation. He's saying it is legitimate rotation. That is a legitimate rotating storm. He's saying it's not just noise. He's saying, Steve says southeast of Sparta, in sky. Yes, exactly. He's seen rotation in the sky. So that is legit rotation on that storm. That is rotating. That's a problem. And it's still going. The next update just came out and still have it east of Sparta heading towards Mount Salem. We are seeing rotation on that storm. All right, I'm going orange. That's it. This is east of Sparta. Heading towards, what did I say? Mount Salem? Let me pull that up on the live stream if I don't already have it up here. I do. Okay. Let me flip over to velocity so you can see it. Here it is right here. So heading towards Dunville. That's probably said wrong. Luton, Mount Salem, maybe towards Aylmer. Let me flip back and just take a look at it. We do have a few areas of rotation. This is kind of the main cell, but that little area right there is concerning. So I'm going to actually send a severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Woodstock. Someone just mentioned. Thank you very much for clarifying that. Appreciate it. Luton, someone said. Luton, thank you. Appreciate that. And I'm not going to try to pronounce your first name because I'm going to make a mistake on that as well, too. Yeah, severe thunderstorm warning for Woodstock, for St. Thomas, I believe. Woodstock, Tilsonburg, St. Thomas, all severe thunderstorm warning now. Let me go take a look at that. I wonder let's go in with that one. Let me see if they mentioned a tornado risk potentially on that storm. I wouldn't be surprised if they're coming out saying that. Internet's being pretty slow. Why? 3 tilts. Team is saying now 3 tilts. Lots of thunder in Woodstock, someone said. Yeah. So let me just get rid of this 1 second here. Thank you for the reports. I appreciate that. We did have reports of rotation with this one. Environment Canada has put a severe thunderstorm warning on this particular storm. And let's see if they did mention tornado risk. Tornado risk has been mentioned by Environment Canada on this particular storm. Yes. So let me bring that up here. I'm going to flip back to future radar here so you can see what's happening with that on the app. But I will bring up the actually, you know what? Let me bring up the details of that warning. Hold on a second here. It is Port Stanley, Ontario. Yeah, let's bring that up right now. Give me 1 second here. I should be able to do it like this. There we go. Okay, so this is the... Clearly, there's a lot of stuff on our app right now. A lot of notifications have been sent out. But let's read the details here. So, 5:52 p.m., Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking a severe thunderstorm capable of producing very strong wind gusts. This line of severe thunderstorms is located from Port Stanley to Sweeburg, moving east at 45 kilometers an hour. Hazard is 90 kilometer an hour wind gusts. A tornado is also possible. Locations impacted include Aylmer, which I'm pronouncing wrong, I'm sure, Tillsonburg, Port Bruce Provincial Park, Dexter, Sparta, Port Bruce, Springfield, Mount Salem, Malahide, Mount Elgin, Stratfordville, and Otterville. So Environment Canada actually is mentioning a tornado risk with this storm right now. It's had multiple frames of rotation. So it didn't just come out of nowhere. There's been multiple frames of rotation on this storm. Yeah. So there's that. We posted about minor rotation on here, but I think I'm going to upgrade that slightly and go orange because definitely seen a few areas of organized rotation heading into Elmer. Elmer. Yeah, that's right. Sean's asking about Peterborough. I think Peterborough's fine. Peterborough doesn't have a severe risk. Yeah, so I know the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for a large area mentions that there is a tornado risk. However, the tornado risk is very, very isolated to areas east of Sparta, heading towards Mount Salem, and also Elmer. That little corridor heading east, that's the main focus. So I know, I'm literally on Port Stanley right now on the app, and there's no tornado risk at this point in time for Port Stanley. It's east. There's no tornado risk for St. Thomas Julie. It's east. So that is the problem right now. We'll have to watch that very, very closely. Let me just take a peek at a few different radars here just to see what's up. Rotation is much, much stronger. I think we're going to, I know Environment Canada, as soon as they saw that, I'm going to show you right now, 1 second here. Much, much, much stronger. That is going to go, I think that's going to go, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is definitely, definitely stronger. Rotation has increased substantially. Heading towards Elmer. That is definitely increased. I'm going to send out a notification right now real quick just to give everybody a heads up who's in the path of that storm that they are dealing with much stronger rotation at this point in time. Let me send it out right now. That's looking a lot stronger than it once was. Near Aylmer and east towards Richmond. Okay, and this is 7. There we go. That looks good to me. Clickety, clickety, send to 557. I'm going to send that right now. So all those who are in the path of that one just got tornado potential. I just sent that to them right now. That definitely increased in strength. Definitely. Okay, so if you are in Aylmer and if you are east of it, you're going to need to obviously be getting to a safe place in the path of that storm. I have a feeling that Environment Canada is going to upgrade what they've already posted about tornado potential with that. They did a severe thunderstorm warning that they said tornado potential. I have a feeling they're going to upgrade it even more. But that's up to them, so I can't speak for them. All I can say is what I see, and what I see is organized rotation right now. So I'm going to zoom in on that. Luton, if you're in Luton, if you're in Aylmer, Summers Corners, Sellville, heading towards Richmond, maybe North Hall, and I'm going to flip to that right now so you can see. So this is the rotation we're talking about right here. It's quite organized. And let me flip back to reflectivity so you can see what it looks like in radar that we're used to. That storm right there is definitely rotating, and it is heading to the east. Yeah, that storm is definitely stronger. It's been multiple tilts here. It's on tilt 2. That's the strongest storm we've seen on land today, for sure. Looking pretty strong. Looking pretty darn strong. So, yeah, that's definitely looking strong. So I have a feeling that we'll see what Environment Canada does with that one. Show the rotation on the radar, says Tyler. Yeah, I sure can. Let me just do that right now. Flip over to rotation right here. You can see the blue, the light blue versus the red here. Yeah. So this is rotating right here near Summers Corners and Aylmer. Yeah. So we're watching that very, very carefully. I'm going to flip back over to the reflectivity here so you can see. Yeah, that might, someone's saying Tillsonburg. It might be heading towards Tillsonburg. I mean, it's moving to the northeast. Let's go back a few frames and see exactly where it's going. Actually, I'll show you the rotation as it tracks so you can see. So we go back here. So it started with some, just move this up here. It started in the Port Stanley area. It started to show some interesting velocity values. And then we started to see a little bit of a rotation here. And it got a little bit stronger right there. And then it got quite strong. And then I was like, is this even noise or is it actually rotation? And then talked to Dr. David Sills, and he said bona fide couplet, but he wasn't completely convinced why it was happening at this point in time because the environment's still not that great. And then as it tracks to the east, it continues to show rotation. At this point in time, Environment Canada put out a severe thunderstorm warning that mentioned a tornado risk is possible with that one. And then it's getting even more organized right here. So we'll have to see what the next update does for it, but it's definitely looking quite organized. Quite organized at this point in time. So if you're in Aylmer, if you are east of Aylmer, so let's just zoom in and see exactly the areas affected. Summers Corners, Sellville, Glencullen, Aylmer, Luton, Malahide, Fairview, Richmond, North Hall, Corinth. So these are the areas in the path of this rotation right now. So we are watching this closely. Shaw says, update Dunville, please. And I think Dunville is currently fine. Yeah, Dunville's totally fine. You're just getting some lightning and some rain. I wouldn't be worrying about Dunville right now. Dunville's okay, other than obviously lightning can be dangerous. But this particular storm is the problem. Please. Someone on YouTube said, can you look at New Brunswick? So currently we're covering Ontario right now in the live stream. We did the live stream in New Brunswick earlier this season. So occasionally we do a New Brunswick live stream when there is severe weather right there. But not at this point in time. Lisa said, I noticed you were live. Is there anything for Windsor? No, Windsor's fine. Green sky. Kaylin says, can you let us know exactly? Oh, it's pouring in Elmer, she says, and a greenish sky right now in Elmer. Heavy rain in Elmer. Lisa says, is Windsor getting anything? No. Please update Woodstock. I think Woodstock's okay right now. Let me just take a look. Yeah, Woodstock's just getting heavy rain and maybe some lightning. So Woodstock's fine. I'm actually going to remove that minor rotation we mentioned earlier for Woodstock because that was very brief and it obviously weakened. So. Okay. 1 second here. You know what I'm going to do? I am in desperate need of some water. So I'm going to, I think my actually son needs my attention right now as well too. So give me just 1 second. Becca asked about St. Thomas. I think St. Thomas is fine. Yeah, St. Thomas is fine right now. The main focus is Elmer and moving to the northeast of that. So I desperately need some water. So I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. And I will switch over to the... Give me 1 second here. Second. Okay, I'm going to flip over to radar here from our app. Again, if you have not downloaded our app yet, please do so. It is free, and you can get it at instantweatherapp.com. I'm going to hit play on that so you can see past and future radar and where the storms are coming. I will be right back. I just need to go get some water. I'll be right back. So please stay safe in the Elmer area and just east of that, and I will be right back with you. Hi. Okay, what's the latest update? Still rotation on it. It's not spectacularly strong. It's persistent, though. Rotation continues to be persistent. Not. It's still east of Elmer. It's not incredibly strong, but it's persistent. This has been going for many, many frames now. So, Hi, Charles. Hi, Kat. Excuse me. Derek says there could be storms hitting Bob Cajun eventually. Yeah. But the only severe risk right now is going to be in kind of the Niagara region, from like St. Thomas to Hamilton. That corridor has potential with this evening's storms. So we'll have to be watching closely. Jesse says, getting thumped in Mount Elgin. Thank you very much for letting us know. Hydro keeps flickering, says Jesse. Jesse, let us know where you are, please. Oh, Mount Elgin. He's the one who said Mount Elgin. Power keeps flickering. That's a pretty strong storm. I feel as though Canadian Weather Radio, dude, every time I say something, I see it on Twitter from this nice account, but that's cool because they're getting the word out there, so that's great. I'm cool with that. Let's see here. That's okay. That's good. Excuse me. Okay, so Aylmer, not Patricia says it's Aylmer, not Elmer. Aylmer. That's interesting because somebody said in the comments said it was Elmer. Interesting. Okay, so there is a tornado warning in Western New York. Oh yeah, you're right. Yep. Yep. There's a tornado warning south of Port Colborne in the U.S. But this particular storm is probably going to head towards Buffalo. I don't think it's going to affect our region. The storm we're concerned about right now is heading towards going through Richmond, Corinth, and Eden, Stratfordville. That rotation continues to be persistent on that storm. Tilt 2 looking even better now through Richmond. When I say tilt 2, I'm talking about higher up in the storm. So higher up in the storm means that there's more support. Jenna says, I always say Elmer. Melanie says, potato. Small Puffin says, I've never heard it called that. It's Elmer. I guess everybody pronounces it slightly different, so. Elmer. Penny Lynn has a good point. She says, we know where you mean regardless, LOL. That's true. That's a good point. As long as you know what I'm talking about. Joey said, you said it the first time, Aylmer. I think I said Aylmer initially, but everybody's saying Elmer. Aylmer. Aylmer, says Jody. Yeah. So there's this happens all the time. Every time someone tells me how to pronounce something in the comments, half the town says it's pronounced this way and half the town says it's pronounced that way. That's good to know. Raid is saying we should focus on the fact that there's a tornado risk. Of course, but it's good to know how to pronounce things properly. Let me see here. Okay, so where was I? Edward's asking about Edward, is that how you spell it? D-L-A-I? Are you talking about, did you mean to say Delhi, maybe? Shelly says 6 of one, half dozen the other. It just depends if you're from in town or out. Becca says, I say Almer. Almer. Let's stay focused, says Raid. Yeah, I know. Bob D says, I'll beat you to the pronunciation guide since you'll say it tonight anyways. Remember, it's Delhi, not Delhi. I just said it properly, did I not? And you said it just as I click send. That's funny. Okay, where were we? Rotation, Richmond, Corinth. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Is anybody from Corinth? Corinth. Let's see here. Edward says there we go. Edward, Delhi. There it is. So he is asking about Delhi. That's what I thought. Delhi is east of this storm, so could be heading that way. We'll see. All we can do right now is just sit here and wait for radar updates. So persistent rotation that started in Port Stanley and has moved all the way through the Aylmer or Elmer, depending on how you say it, region. And now it's heading towards Eden, maybe towards Tilsonburg. I know there's a lot of folks there, Stratfordville. So just kind of persistent rotation on that storm. I don't know if it has produced anything, but definitely persistent rotation. Karen says our local newspaper posted tornado warning in Haldimand. Haldimand? Is this true? Well, currently there's no tornado warnings, I believe. I don't think so. It might have been from earlier when there was a tornado warning over the water. Haldimand. And then Haldimand. This is Jess. Hauldimond. Oh, here we go. 77% of our live stream is me learning how to pronounce things only to forget it for the next live stream. This is why it takes up so much time. Okay, so rotation might be weakening on that storm. Maybe heading towards Eden. I mean, it's still there. It's just not as amazing as it once was. Okay, I have a choice between coffee and water, and I'm going to go with coffee. That's right. That's fantastic. Brenda said, I thought that tornado warnings over the water were going to be broadcast as marine tornado warnings. Yes, that was the plan. That's something we still have to add to the app is we're going to put in brackets over water. So it'll say tornado warning, and then in parentheses, it'll say over water. If you read the details of the tornado warning, it'll say Lake Erie. So you can pretty quickly tell that it's over water. But yes, that's something we definitely have to, improve upon. So we want to add that to be fair, I think we're the only app that sends out marine tornado warnings. So that's a good side of it. But to have some clarification that it's a marine tornado warning, that it's actually for over the water, that would be a good thing for sure. Yeah. But thank you for bringing that up, Brenda. So I clarify, working on that. Can't boil the ocean in a day. Piece by piece, we try to improve the system. But actually, we've been improving our system piece by piece for 8 years. So it's getting there. It's getting there. Slowly but surely. Just trying to read the comments here. Hydro flickering in Tilsonburg, says Sherry. Ashley says, coffee. And then I realized I'm drinking coffee and it's 6:16 p.m. So maybe that's not the greatest idea. Maybe it's not the greatest idea here. So Oh, Stephen asked this question before, and I can clarify for it. Thank you, Stephen, for asking it again. I was going to answer it, but then I got distracted with something. What's the difference between a marine tornado and a water spout? So there's two types of water spouts. One is what is referred to as a fair weather water spout. That's like, when it's normally like October and the lakes are still warm, but the air on top is really cool. And then, someone can go out and you can see like one or two or three, and they almost look like steam devils. They look these little water spouts, but they're actually, they can be legitimate water spouts. Those are more fair weather water spouts. They usually don't come onto shore. They're usually just out on the water, and you can go there and say, wow, there's like 3 tornadoes out on the water. Like, those are usually not, unless you're on a boat, those are usually not a concern. And then there's a tornado that just happens to be over the water. So that's when you have a supercell, you got rotation, tornadoes coming down from the storm, and that it just happens to be over water. And that would be what some refer to as a tornadic water spout. Really, it's just a tornado, just happens to be over water. So those are the differences. So basically you have the fair weather water spouts, which usually happen early in the morning, over the Great Lakes, sometimes over other lakes as well too, but usually over the Great Lakes. And those are normally not a problem. And then you just happen to have a tornado that happens to be over the water. That's a different story. Tornadic water spouts are much more dangerous, usually, because they're probably heading towards land at some point in time. And if the tornado persists, then it's bad. Heather says, down on the shore by Clear Creek, low clouds are heading west and upper clouds going east, just southwest of the rotation warned by Aylmer. So, yeah. Thank you, Heather, for clarifying. She's saying as she's looking up, she can see clouds moving at different directions. Yeah, that's absolutely. That's classic rotation. As you have, that's wind shear. As you have clouds at different levels moving in different directions at different speeds, and you can get these kind of horizontal spins, and then they can turn. And if an updraft of a storm moves over that horizontal tube, it can tilt it, it can stretch it, and then that's sometimes when you get tornadoes. You're welcome, Stephen. Thanks for the great question. Appreciate it. I just want to keep watching this storm and see what else is happening over the water. Still that tornado warning, not too far from Ontario. There's a tornado warning only 34 kilometers south of Port Colborne, just on the southern shoreline of Lake Erie over in New York State, near Portland, New York. Yeah, so there's that. But that looks like it's going to continue through New York State. It's not going to move towards Ontario. We're still watching the storm that is rotating currently. And it is located heading towards kind of Tillsonburg. It's basically on top of Tillsonburg right now. The rotation is still kind of going. Not done for yet. Still going. Tillsonburg, heading towards Cortland. It just went through Eden. It's heading towards Cortland. Yeah, we have to watch that closely. And there are some storms over Lake Erie that will eventually head towards Niagara later. Turbo says, is this the most recent radar image? Probably not. I think I just keep redoing the same one. Let me make sure we have the latest. Give me just 1 second. Let's show you this. Let me just flip back over to raw radar so we can take a look at it. This is something we're working on. It's going to be called Instant Weather Pro. It'll probably be available through our existing free app that you can get at instantweatherapp.com. It won't be. It'll be an upgrade subscription, but it'll be probably available through the app. I think that's the idea. This is the current rotation that's kind of in the Tillsonburg area. Hopefully everybody in Tillsonburg is all right. If you're in Tillsonburg, let me know in the comments what you're experiencing. Hopefully everything's okay. Let me just take a look through the comments here. Give me 1 second. Shelly says, Tillsonburg, heavy downpours and bad lightning. Thank you very much. Let me flip over to reflectivity so you can see the radar that we're used to looking at. And that is the storm at Tillsonburg. So it looks like there could be potentially some hail through Tillsonburg as well. Let's see exactly where this thing is going. Yeah, going into Cortland right now. So it's in Cortland, says Sean. So yeah, so radar is a little bit behind. Yeah, that's the frame is from 6:18 and 6:22 now. So that storm is already heading into Cortland right now. John says Dunkirk, New York. Yeah, was that the tornado warning in New York State? I believe. Let's see. Nancy says Corinth is seeing lots of wind shear, cold outside. Thank you. Yeah, because I think is it east of you now? Yeah, it is east of you now, so I could see it being cool on the backside of that storm for sure. So Corinth is cool now, but seeing lots of wind shear. Sherry says, wind picking up and major downpours, then nothing, then starts up again, then nothing in Tillsonburg. You must be in this spot. So you must have got the first wave, and then you're in that spot, and then you get the second wave. That happens. John says, we could updraft Cortland into clouds. That's not good. Brittany says it's calm in Tillsonburg now. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Looks like it's moving east of your area. Kevin says, what about Toronto? Yeah, but I think Toronto's going to see some storms tonight, but some heavy rain and some storms. But other than maybe a flooding risk, I don't know if there's going to be anything severe for you. Probably not. Looks like the furthest north the severe potential reaches, again, besides lightning and flooding, is going to be probably Hamilton. Excuse me. Paula says, I want to make supper. Let us know when we can leave the basement in Tillsonburg. Okay. Give it a few minutes. I also don't want to be like, yeah, you can leave the basement now, and then you go upstairs and then lightning strikes your house or something like that. That would be bad. So you might want to just like wait it out a little bit longer, and then you can go make dinner. Just reading all of your comments. Thank you for posting. What about Hamilton, says Andrew? You might see a marginally severe storm this evening. Might. We're going with might. Just trying to look at a few different things in the background. Give me a moment. Ensure I've got everything covered here. So I'm still seeing, it looks like that's out of my original polygon. Oh, I better update this. One sec. Let's go to velocity. Has actually shifted a bit. Still seeing rotation here. And let me go back to reflectivity. There we go. So it looks like the strongest part of it should be heading out of Tillsonburg now for those who are in Tillsonburg. Tons of lightning for sure, but the part of the storm that we were concerned about is now moving east of Tillsonburg, so it is out of the Tillsonburg area. So I think, Paula, I think supper might be, excuse me, might be okay. Besides the lightning risk. So there's still lightning risk, but if you want to go make supper. Joel says, hi, Adam. I told my brother in Richmond to download your free app today. Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it, Joel. Thank you kindly. And then I go and drink coffee again at 6:30. Excuse me. Okay. Play us a song, says Charles. For how dry my throat is right now, that might be a bad idea. But we'll see. We will see. At some point in time, I have to go put my son to bed. So that. Charles says, how about some music, Adam, like before? Wasn't it nice before? I remember those before times. Good times. Okay, so still watching this cell carefully. This one right here. And it's out of my original polygon. So I want to do a minor rotation update on it because it is still out of my polygon. 1 second here. Excuse me. Okay, so where is it? Heading towards Cortland. Still going. Toward Delhi, eventually towards Simcoe, maybe towards Port Dover. I'm going to do a pretty long polygon here. 1 sec. Ooh. Just want to send a notification to those. In those areas, you're going to get a minor rotation continues, is what I'm actually going to do it. Minor rotation continues. We continue to track minor rotation on this storm near Portland, moving east towards the Delhi areas. And what time is that at? It is at 6:30 p.m. Cool. Okay, so that looks good, and I'm sending that out right now. So if you're in Delhi, if you're in, what else did I send it to? Port Dover, you're probably getting my notification right about now. A whole bunch of folk getting it. Anne says, what do you do if you don't have a basement? So we have an image for that. Meteorologist Jason Brand on our team is a big advocate of duck, and not like the quack quack version. What he's referring to with duck is downstairs under something sturdy, center of the house. So again, if you don't have a basement, the lowest level, center of the house, keep as many doors and walls between you and the outside as possible, and keep away from the windows. So remember to duck. Thank you to meteorologist Jason Brand for that wonderful heads up, what you should be doing. So if you don't have a basement, you want to be in the lowest level. People always talk about, get into a bathtub. If the bathtub's not on the lowest level, if you have to go upstairs to get to the bathtub, no, bathtub is out of the question. First and foremost, the lowest level of the house. If there's no basement, lowest possible level is where you want to be. William says, not a thing here in Simcoe, not a leaf moving. Well, that can change. Let's see here. Chris K says, Adam, is there a reason a lot of storms fizzle out around the escarpment, specifically near St. Catharines? No, it's circumstantial. Depends on the lake breezes, depends on the particular system in general, the strength of the energy, surface heating. There's a million factors that come into play. So there's no specific reason. And each season's different. Sometimes St. Catharines gets hammered with storms, and sometimes every storm weakens before it gets there. So it happens. Charles says, I've heard to stand under door frames as they will be the strongest point. Not too sure, though. That's for earthquakes, not for tornadoes. Tornadoes, you do not want to be standing. Debris is what's the most dangerous. And debris flying through the air, you want to be down. You want to have blankets and pillows and maybe even a mattress on top of you. You want to be down with as much on top of your head as possible. Debris is what is dangerous. So standing up is a terrible idea. You want to be down on the ground as low as you possibly can. Vicky Lee says, now, would a bathtub work during a tornado? If the bathtub's in your basement, sure. Why not? You want to try to protect yourself from debris. The bathtub walls could protect yourself from flying debris, right? But if the bathtub is upstairs, like if you have a basement, your bathtub's on your main level, basement. The lowest level is the first. Like the most important thing is to be as low or below the ground as possible. That's where you want to be. The bathtub is an afterthought. If you're already in the lowest level of whatever building you're in, and there just happens to be a bathtub and an interior bathroom, sure, cool. But don't be like, the bathtub's on the second floor, but we're in the basement. But I heard bathtubs are good, so let's go to the second floor. No, please don't ever do that, please. Basement, lowest level, first and foremost. Billings says puts on full hockey gear. Yeah, that's not a terrible. You know what? I'm actually a goalie, and if I saw crazy rotation, I would probably do the same thing. I'd probably put on my goalie pads, put on all my stuff. My son could take shots. Daddy'd make a lot of saves. Brooke said, Adam, will you live stream blizzards in the winter? Maybe. I did one winter live stream last season, and we had great feedback from it. So, excuse me, maybe. Andrew says, I'm downtown. It's coming. Where are you exactly? Jessica says, what would you recommend for those living on the 9th floor of an apartment building? Apartment buildings are pretty strong. So unless it's going to be the most intense, craziest, violent tornado of all time, apartment buildings are pretty strong. That doesn't mean you should be anywhere near the windows. You should be into your the most interior. It's not the greatest situation, but they're usually pretty strong. Or you may want to get down to the lowest level of the building. It might not be a terrible idea, but it's hard to give exact specific advice. I mean, if I was there with you, I could be like, I think we should go here, or this seems too wide open, or we're too, like, even though we're far away from the window, we're just in a big wide open room. It doesn't seem like a great idea. Maybe the hallways are better. I don't know. I'd have to be there to really know. You kind of have to go with your gut instinct and feel it out with that one. But usually apartment buildings are pretty strong. Renee says, is there anything you cannot do? Oh, yes. We don't have enough time on the live stream to talk about that. There's many things I cannot do. I just did an update on this radar. Let me just take a look at it here. Still minor, which is good. It hasn't really it definitely weakened from when we posted tornado potential, and I've taken that off the app since. So it definitely has weakened, but there's still some minor rotation north of Cortland. Still kind of a hook on that storm, and it's heading east towards Delhi. So still watching that. How's Toronto, says Claire? Toronto is probably okay. You're going to get some storms. There might be a little bit of flooding risk, and there might be some lightning. But besides that, not too crazy. Let me flip back to the app so we can see past and future radar, because I know a lot of folks are going to be wondering what is happening for their area. And not me just zoomed in on Norwich, which doesn't represent everybody who's in our community here. So let me flip back to the app. If you have not downloaded our app, please do so. It's free. You can get it at instantweatherapp.com, and you can click on Apple or Android, and it will take you to your particular app store. So let me actually zoom this out so we can see Ottawa in the picture there. Here we go, and Cornwall. There we are. Cool. So that's past and future radar. You can see the time above my head, and that will tell you where these storms are going and and where they currently are. Joel says, remind people that acrylic bathtubs do not offer any protection from debris. Well, true. But, I mean, it's better protection than nothing. If you're just like, if you're in that same bathroom and you're just on the floor, I'd probably rather be in the bathtub if you have enough. But I mean, you don't want to like cram, like, you have like 5 people in that bathroom. You're not going to cram all 5 of them into that bathtub. So I don't know. Ontario Weather Radios on YouTube says severe thunderstorm warning ended for St. Thomas. Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Brooke says update radar, please. I just did. I just put on the latest. This is the latest. This is the latest, greatest. I don't know what greatest, but it's the latest radar. I just did. Tima says, okay, I think Fort Erie is clear, just our usual weather. So to clarify, there is more storms over Lake Erie that may be heading towards that area. Future radar isn't perfect. It's not going to tell you exactly where they go. But there is a risk into this evening of supercell activity for Niagara, which could include Fort Erie. So definitely not your typical weather for October 15th. Claire says, what does your app logo look like? It looks like this. If you see right below me, see the instant weather here? So the app logo is actually this I here, and then this W right here. And so it says IW. It's like the white, it's like a dark, or no, the white I, and then, or no, the dark I, and then the blue W with the white W. Anyways, long story short, it's called Instant Weather. Here, I'm going to put a link in the comments, so you're welcome. Thanks for asking, because a lot of folks probably don't know. Download our free app at instantweather.ca/app on Apple or Android. There, I posted that in the comments. Craig says, Elizabeth Berry, understairs in the basement near the center of the home, blankets and pillows to protect from smaller flying debris. I agree with that. Brooke says, how's the GTA going to be? Wet. It's going to be wet. Again, the only severe risk we're seeing for this evening is going to be kind of the Niagara area from Fort Erie to maybe St. Thomas-ish and up to possibly Hamilton, but probably not any further north than that. But there could be some isolated flooding in the GTA, and there could be some lightning as well, too. So, Tima says, I call it Fort Dreary because it rains, cats, and dogs. Always windy. I'm not coded, not too worried. Thanks for the updates. Perfect. Again, I wouldn't be worried. This is a marginal risk. I'm not saying for sure a tornado is going to happen. We did have a tornado warning storm earlier that just missed Fort Erie to the south. And there could be more this evening. But again, chances of it, A, hitting your town or your city is already super slim in general. Chances of it hitting your actual house also even way, way slimmer of a potential. So not trying to make anybody worry. Just want to let you know that there is potential for that to happen. It can happen. I mean, my city got hit July 15th by an EF2 tornado, caused $70 million of damage in Barrie this year. I believe the 70 million included the other EF2 tornadoes that happened that day, but I know Barrie is a significant part of that damage total. Pretty high majority of that damage total, I believe. But anyways, so again, to say it never happens, obviously it does happen. But will it happen in your exact town? Will it happen in your exact neighborhood? And will it hit your exact house? Those odds are incredibly slim. But that doesn't mean don't pay attention. Still pay attention. Paying attention is good. Jadine says, Niagara Falls, any tornado risk? There's a marginal risk for supercell activity in Niagara this evening. So it's not entirely out of the question. It's possible. It is possible. It's not entirely out of the question. There is some rotation still west of Delhi that we're watching, south of Norwich, heading to the east towards Simcoe. There is that, so we'll be watching that closely, and we'll see how it goes. It's interesting because that storm that's moving, that has had persistent rotation from Port Stanley, it got stronger and then it got weaker again, and now it's just kind of, it's still there. It's a still rotating storm that's moving to the east. It is moving into a stronger environment, so that's a bit concerning that storm is actually moving into the Niagara region. Christopher says, any tornado risk for Dunville? Yeah, I would say it's not entirely out of the question. Again, we do have a rotating storm near Delhi that's moving to the east. And so, you're eventually in the path of it, I would say. Probably, as long as it keeps its same path, I would say you're probably in the path of that storm. And it's currently rotating. I would say it's not entirely out of the question. Ange says, the text message alerts are a comforting service to have during tornado season. Thank you so much, Ange, for bringing it up. Appreciate that. So back in 2015, we actually built, at the time, it was the only text message alerts system, because there used to be one that closed down, and this was before Alert Ready even came out with the kind of Amber alerts to your phone. So in that period of time, there was literally no text message alerts available in Canada. So we built a system, and we still offer it today. It definitely is our most reliable service for sure. And you can get it at textmessagealerts.com. $3.39 a month. We haven't changed the price since 2015. So that is probably going to change next season, because I'm pretty sure we're losing money on it now. Anyway, so $3.39 per month. And that gives you basically everything that we send out through our free app. We send out through the text message alerts. Now, you might say to yourself, well, then why do I want it if I can get it from the free app? The free app needs internet access to work. If the internet goes down, if your Wi-Fi goes out, if the cell towers are overwhelmed because everybody's trying to check the weather at the exact same time, a la Ottawa 2018, was it? Yes, I believe, when the Dunrobin tornado, everybody tried to check the cell towers at the same time. The cell towers cannot handle everybody at the same time. They do not handle that kind of bandwidth. So everybody's cell service went down to basically next to nothing. The only thing that made it through was basic SMS text messages, which is what we built our system on. So, if you don't have an LTE strength signal, you can't get the government automatic Amber Alert type tornado warnings. So the only information that was actually making it through was a basic SMS text message. And again, that's what we built the system on. So for significant severe weather events, where cell towers can go down, and you can, in rare cases, you can have a tornado hit a cell tower and it goes down, and then you have no cell service at all. In that case, if you can't even get like a 2G, like the basic signal, well, then nothing's getting through. But if you can at least get like the weakest, crappiest cell signal, even if you can't get on the internet, like Facebook's not loading, nothing's loading, you can still get a basic SMS text message. So for the most reliable alerts that we offer, textmessagealerts.com. So thank you for bringing that up, Ange. I appreciate it. Thank you kindly. Lucy says, I was in that Ottawa tornado. Oh my goodness. I'm glad you're okay. Please tell us the story. And if you don't want to, that's okay. I can understand if you don't want to relive it. But please let us know. Jaden says, OMG, Niagara is bad. Let me take a look. Yeah, pretty nasty storm going through Niagara. Strong winds, lightning. I'm not seeing any rotation on that one right now, so that's a good thing. Still seeing rotation on that Delhi storm moving east towards Windham Center, eventually towards Simcoe. Oh, and now there's new rotation. Where did that come from? Hold on a tick. Oh, we have new rotation heading towards Langton. Glen Meyer right now. I'm going to post about that. Give me just 1 second. Got to do that in the background right now, because there's new rotation near Glen Meyer. This is northeast of Port Burwell. That's a new supercell that has developed. And it continues. Let's see here. Where's Port Burwell? I see you right there. And let me find... Oh, there we go. Okay, Langton, I see you there. Yeah, I see it. Okay. All right. came from nothing. Okay. So that's Langton. That's Port Burwell. Let me just make sure I got the right location here. In fact, I'm going to switch to something else. 1 second here. I just want to send a notification for this particular storm. There we go. Okay. Okay, so, excuse me. And that will actually be heading towards kind of the Simcoe area as well, too. So there's that. 1 second here. Just want to make sure we get a good area with that. So if you're in Simcoe, you're going to have a notification from 2 different storms that I'm posting about. So sorry to those in Simcoe who are getting 2 different storms here. Minor rotation detected. This is a new storm on the storm near Langton, moving east towards Glenmire, sorry. Near Glenmire. Glenmire moving east towards Langton, etc. Okay, and what time is that at? It is at 6:48 p.m. That looks good. And let me go direct. 6:49 p.m. Okay. And send. Okay, so another developing rotating storm near Glenmire and Frogmore heading east towards Langton. And I will bring it up. I'm sure you got the notification. Let me know in the comments. Someone said Teresa said she heard bike helmets are recommended for tornadoes. Yeah, that's not a terrible idea. I mean, of course you want to do as you want to protect yourself in any possible way, I would say. It's always a good thing. Vicky Lee says, I was in the Barrie tornado. Oh, please let us know how you did. Obviously, you're okay. Thank you so much for letting us know. Hopefully everything was okay. Debbie says, can you put up your pixel data map? Yes, so it's the raw pixels of the data. So yes, let me work on that right now, and I'll show you the rotation near Langton that I was talking about. Give me 1 second, and I will bring that up on the screen. Okay, so thank you for bringing that up. Thank you kindly, and I will do that right now. Bring that up on the screen here. So here's the raw data. So we still have some rotation. Kind of looks outflow dominant, so it might be okay. But we'll have to keep an eye on this right now, which is the Delhi storm. So that, and now we have a new rotation right here near Glenmire and Frogmore that is moving towards Langton. And let me flip back so you can see the shape of that storm. It already moved. There we go. Oh, it's kind of moving to the northeast. Yeah, interesting. So now it has already updated. So that was an update. So let me go take a look at velocity and see what's going on. So that's 48. Let me see here. This is interesting. Yeah, so rotation into Langton right now. And that is moving more to the northeast than I thought it was going to, which is interesting. But yeah, that's definitely rotating and moving into Langton and Wycombe and heading up towards Gilbertville, Pine Grove, and maybe towards Delhi. But Delhi has the storm, part of that same storm right now, but it is moving to the east. So the rotation itself is probably going to head toward Pine Grove, I would think, based on its current direction. And what else is happening here? Let me back out. So there's still storms. Let's back right out. Storms going into Hamilton. Excuse me. This particular storm right now, southeast of Tillsonburg, that we're concerned about near Langton, showing rotation. and storms into Niagara. So these are the storms we're watching. Let's hit animate if this does animate. Let's see. There we go. And let me tilt the camera because I can't. Fancy. Fancy tilting. There we go. That's your particular storms right now. We are watching. Okay, so Fred says, southeast of Langton, seeing significant wind shear. I'm sure you are. Looks like she's rotating pretty good. So thank you for that clarification from the surface. And that crazy profile pic you have there where you're in extremely cold water, it looks like. Wow. Thank you, Fred. So Fred says he is seeing rotation with that storm. He is seeing wind shear, which is another way of saying rotation. You're seeing clouds going different ways, and that is creating wind shear. Oh. Give me just one sec. My wife needs me here. Give me just a my wife. She's funny. Okay. So Jaden says it's the best rank star sender. I don't know. I'm not sure. But thank you to all those who have sent stars on Facebook on our Instant Weather Ontario page. I appreciate that. And all those who have sent in chats on YouTube. Really makes a big difference. So thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate it. Let's see here. Brittany says, what should we expect in Brantford? Thanks, Adam. That's a good question. Let me see. Heavy rain, maybe some lightning, gusty winds. There is an interesting, that storm we've been watching, now heading towards Teeterville and Vanessa. It's got an interesting signature to it. It's got a bit of an S curve. Interesting. Lucy, I doubt that's the case. Let's see here. Let's see here. Just taking a look at a few different things. Trisha says, storming in Delhi right now. Can we expect damage? Let me bring up her comment here. Can expect damage. I don't think so. I think Delhi is okay at this point in time. I think that Langton storm is going to miss you. And the strong storm that you had previously is already passed. So I think you're okay for now at this point in time. I think so. Brooklyn says, are we going to expect much in Niagara Falls? The current storm is weak, but you could see marginally severe storms later this evening. We're going to have to watch closely. And yeah, we're going to have to see. There's a marginal chance of some spin-ups, but we'll have to watch closely to see what happens. Ashley says, can you update Tilsonburg? Yeah, I can. What's here? Sorry, just reading some. Andrew says there's no severe warnings for Niagara. Yeah, that storm doesn't look severe. I mean, you might argue that it is severe based on the fact that there's lightning, but remember, severe means trees are coming down. Hail is damaging stuff. There's flooding, so maybe there's some flooding. But just lightning itself does not constitute severe. Lightning and gusty winds is not severe. It might feel severe. Don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you it's not. I mean, obviously you don't want to go run out and play in it when there's lightning and strong winds and tons of rain. But severe, there's a threshold for severe, and that's 90-kilometer-an-hour winds, which means trees are falling down. So if trees aren't falling down and hail's not damaging stuff and there's not significant flooding, then it's not actually reaching the severe threshold, and that's probably why there's no severe thunderstorm warning for Niagara. Alicia says, power just flashed, or Alicia says power just flashed out in Brant County. Eek. I was supposed to upgrade Tilsonburg. 1 second here. Or not upgrade, but update. Everybody's like, upgrade? You're going to upgrade it? No, I'm sorry, update for Tilsonburg. Tilsonburg is good. You're fine. There's like lightning east of you. Some rain. Right now, you're okay. The main focus into the evening will continue into the Niagara region. That's pretty much the area we're focused on. Lauren says, are we going to get hit again in Tilsonburg? I don't know. 1 second. You might get some more rain, maybe some more lightning, but nothing looks significant west of you. It's very cool. Linda says, I have severe thunderstorm warning in Niagara. Oh, did they issue one? I'll go check. The way that I go check is I literally just go onto our app and I check. If you haven't downloaded our free app yet, please do so. I will put the link up on the page, or on the, you can see it this way. It's hard to, that way. Instantweatherapp.com. It's free. And you can check to see if you're under any alerts. No, there is no severe thunderstorm warning for, they got a severe thunderstorm warning in Niagara Falls. There's only a severe thunderstorm watch right now. Special weather statement and a severe thunderstorm watch at this point in time. Vicky Lee says, I love the app. Woo! Thank you, Vicky. Tima, I don't know. I keep probably pronouncing your name wrong because it's one long word. Timahra. Timarayli? Downloaded the app. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Ender says, every time I hear reader here Simcoe, I think it's Simcoe County. I know I live in Simcoe County, so when we first started this page, I wouldn't always get, but I get a little bit confused with Simcoe versus Simcoe County. But no, there's Simcoe, Ontario, which is a town north of Lake Erie, eastern Lake Erie, and then there's a Simcoe County, which is like Barrie and Aurelia, and yeah. BS Tasker says, does Adam only read Facebook comments? And BS asked this on YouTube, and the answer is yes. Of course. No, I read YouTube. And we're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. We're Instant Weather on Twitch. And we're on Twitter as well, too. So I read Twitter comments. I read the Twitch comments. I read the YouTube comments. I try to read all the comments. However, sometimes when the live stream is a lot busier than it is right now. At one point in time, we had literally 11. It was one of the biggest streams we did. It was an 8-hour stream. And at the apex of that stream, we had 11,000 concurrent viewers on, which was insane. That's insane. 11,000 per second is insane. And at that point in time, the comments were like, I read almost nothing. It was insane. Linda says, yes, sorry, I meant watch. Yes, watch. Let's take a look at that photo of watch versus warning. And this is a good one. This was the Normal Fire Department in Illinois. We have let me get rid of this banner, which is in our way. Taco watch, taco warning. So watch means the ingredients are in place. So watch. Somebody had a really good statement, one of our previous live streams, which is watch for a warning. If you remember that phrase, watch for a warning. So watch means pay attention. Warning means take action. Watch for a warning. We also have another version of this, which is the classic cupcake watch and cupcake warning. Hello. I covered my face there. So cupcake watch and cupcake warning. So cupcake watch, you have all the ingredients. Cupcake warning, obviously take action with that cupcake, if you know what I mean by eating it. And here's one last example. Tornado watch and tornado warning. Pretty self-explanatory. The watch cupcake warning, just to give credit where credit is due, was I believe the credit is to Brad Panovich on Twitter. WXBrad created the cupcake watch cupcake warning. So 3 good examples of watch versus warning there. Oh, here's one last good image from the National Weather Service. Watch means dangerous weather is possible within a couple of hours, but it's not currently occurring. I mean, sometimes it's occurring when a watch is issued, but warning is dangerous weather is occurring. Move indoors and seek additional shelter if necessary. So that is a good example of it as well too. So hopefully that clarifies for a lot of folks. BS Tasker says it's Simcoe, Norfolk County. That's right. Thank you for clarifying that. Appreciate it. Shane says, will your new app radar be out by Christmas? I need to get a gift for myself and your app is it. Well, to clarify, no, I don't think it will. We might do a closed beta. Maybe we'll probably do a sign up for that. We'll do a sign up for a closed beta over the winter. I think would be the time, and then we'll look. We're aiming towards spring. I mean, with our actual app, I remember saying we're aiming towards spring of 2019, and the app can come out till spring of 2020. So take it with a grain of salt. We're aiming for spring. It's working pretty good. You're looking at it right now. It's actually, again, what we're going to be calling Instant Weather Pro. It's got a lot of cool pro radar features like velocity and correlation coefficient. So you can see like debris signatures. We're going to be putting lightning in there, historical radar, all this cool stuff. So yeah, so it's going pretty good. We're working super hard on it. But by Christmas, that might be pushing it. For sure. There's still a few things we want to tweak. We don't want to release this unless it's like, I want it to be super awesome. People get it and they're like, yeah, this is the thing. I don't want people to be like, it needs a little bit of work, you know. I wanted to make sure it's rocking before we put it out. So Shane, thank you so much for saying that, and working on slowly but surely. Aw, thank you so much, Melanie. Melanie sent a super sticker on YouTube. Thank you kindly. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much to those who are sending super chats, super stickers, and those who have sent stars on our Instant Weather Ontario page, and those who have become a supporter on Ontario Stormwatch and on Instant Weather Ontario, and those who have joined our Patreon, which is patreon.com/Instant Weather. So thank you to all of you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Vicky Lee says, I added you on Twitch as well. Sweet. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So, Tallulah says, Adam, we have a severe thunderstorm warning issued by Ontario Weather. I think you mean Environment Canada. Could you update Grant County? Let me take a look. The current rotation that we've been posting about is actually weakening across the board. So there's currently no rotation that is really catching my eye right now, which is good, except for that. No. Well, Dundurn looks interesting, actually. Let me take another look at that. 1 sec. Yeah, but it looks weak from Exeter. It's all currently weak. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm probably going to shut down the stream so that I can go and put my little guy to bed because it's his bedtime now. So I think I'm going to... Oh, severe thunderstorm watch for Toronto, says Julie. Well, interesting. So maybe they think there's potential there. Probably more for flooding risk, I would think. But it's possible. It is possible that there could be something up there. Let's see here. Please check Simcoe first. I think Simcoe was okay. Again, please download our free app. Yeah, Simcoe's all right now. It's that storm's gonna be moving east. There's another storm coming your way, but all the rotation that I've been watching has weakened. So what I'm gonna first do is go to our app admin panel here. 1 second, and oh, I clicked the wrong thing. That's no good. Some minor flooding, which is not good. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of the minor rotation near Glenmire. I'm going to get rid of the minor rotation near Cortland, and I'm going to leave everything else up. Oh, except for that we're live streaming right now, because I'm going to shut down the live stream. So I'm going to get rid of that. Now, if things get crazy, which it could be, first ever stream with no songs. No, I've done a few that had no singing. Yeah, so if rotation does come back and we do see some supercell activity this evening, which is not entirely out of the question, then I'll probably jump back onto the live stream. But if nothing's too significant, then I might not. But I plan on doing more live streams. I want to do some fall weather live streams. I want to do some winter live streams too. So more live streams will come. I haven't played a song, but I'll do one really quick. Ready? Here we go. This is the most requested song we've ever had, which is, it's not even gonna work. I forgot. My audio settings are set up so it literally deletes. Hold on one sec. Let me just switch my audio settings. There, that should be better. Okay. Play a whole song, you don't even hear my guitar. That'd be funny. Book and vortex, do do do. Book and vortex, ba 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 ba. A book and vortex. All right, that's all I'm playing about. So it's a longer song. I've sung it a few times. I should probably go clip it out and actually post it as there was one time I sang it. Actually had pretty good lyrics, but bookend vortex is a type of tornado producing storm. I wrote a song about it once, and for some reason everybody asked for bookend vortex over and over and over again. So anywho, I am going to shut down the stream. Please download our free app, and if I see anything intense, then I will most definitely be posting it through the app. I'll notify you. So go to instantweatherapp.com, or just go to the App Store, go to your Apple App Store, and type in instant weather. 2 words, instant weather. Look for the blue and white icon that looks like this right below me. It'll just say IW. And download that. You can also do it on Google Play, of course. Search the same thing, instant weather. Download it for free. Put in your location, enable notifications. And when I see anything rotating in your area, I will definitely send it over to you. Facebook user says, yeah, bookend vortex. Awesome. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope everybody stayed safe, and I hope everybody will continue to stay safe. Again, there is a little bit of potential for supercell activity in the Niagara region this evening with these storms that are coming over Lake Erie. So we're going to be watching that closely. If anything looks significant, I will definitely notify and let you know what's up. And if things get pretty crazy, then I'll probably jump on the live stream again. But but if not, see you very soon. And we'll definitely be doing more live streams and all that fun stuff. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have yourself a wonderful evening. And I'll put a link to the app in the comments there. So let me do that really quick before I go. The last thing I do before I go is download our free app at https://instantweather.ca/app on Apple and Android. Smiley face. Okay. I put that in the comments. Oh, big lightning in Mississauga we're hearing. So Heather says, wait, what will you do for the rest of the night? Well, I mean, you can check the app. I'll be in there posting things, obviously, on social and all that stuff as well, too. But yeah. Got to go put the little guy to bed, eat some dinner, and I'll be talking to you all very, very soon. And thank you so much for joining the live stream. And again, we'll be trying to do more as much as we can. So, and again, if things get crazy tonight, I'll probably jump back on the live stream. So, but we'll see. But probably not, but it might. We'll see. And the environment looks decent, so we'll have to just keep watching. So thank you so much, everyone. We'll talk to you very soon. Have yourself a wonderful night. Bye-bye. That didn't work. That's odd. Oh, well, I'll just shut it down like this. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.